And welcome to the 14th episode of Two Chicks, One Show. It's the 13th episode. I can totally keep track. It's the 13th episode of Two Chicks, One Show, with the show where we discuss one currently airing show, an episode a week. My name is Tricia and she's Kait Calabro. I got that right. And this week's one show is Once Upon a Time, Season 4, Episode 5, Breaking Glass. Kait, take it away, please.
I just want everyone to know that I write the episode number on the sheet that Tricia should have in front of her, so she should know what number we're on. Anyway, so in this episode of Once Upon a Time, Regina and Emma team up in search for Elsa and the Snow Queen, who both go disappearing in the Enchanted Forest. Things do not really go according to plan, but we now establish that Emma and Regina are friends. Meanwhile, Mary Margaret regains her mojo on a date with David. Will Scarlet's looking for a bag, and we find out how the Snow Queen is related to Emma.
Yes, we do. It was sort of jam-packed, and at the same time, it felt very light and removed. It was a good episode overall. I mean, it wasn't the best, I think, even this season.
I think any episode that has nothing to do with Fantasia is a good episode.
Yes, I would agree with you. Any episode that doesn't include walking broomsticks or stupid hats or mice is a good episode. And I think we agree that, at least so far, they've been handling the Frozen storyline surprisingly well, because I don't think either one of us entered into this expecting, no pun intended, magic.
Yeah. Good job.
Thanks. This is so one of those nights. Anyway, so, one of the biggest things from the episode was it was not that funny. Was not just Emma's relationship with Regina, but the whole flashback of the episode, which I don't think it was at all how they framed the preview.
No, I don't even think the flashback was in the preview.
Yeah, I don't think it was either.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
According to a friend of mine who is like my into the Once Upon a Time fandom, the Canadian version of the promo was completely different.
Oh.
Damn Canada.
Canadian.
So, I got a lot more of Emma's backstory, and this time, when Emma's a teenager, she's not played by a 30-something-year-old. They actually a different person.
It wasn't Emma in glasses.
Yes, it wasn't Emma in glasses. And it was interesting. I really enjoyed it, actually. I thought it was kind of fun. It felt kind of like a PG-rated version of the movie 13.
Very much so. At the moment, I was ready for them to just make out. There was a lot of closeness. Lily came on a lot of closeness.
There were a lot of, hushed moments when they were close, and you were just kind of like, are you going to kiss? Because, that would be okay.
Yeah, I was like, is this happening? At 8 o'clock on ABC? I was like, what's going on? But it didn't happen. There's no physical lesbianic action, but...
Although that wouldn't be a stretch for ABC at 8 o'clock, because they do have Grey's Anatomy, which has a lesbian married couple.
That's true. I am sorry.
And I apologize for referencing Grey's Anatomy ever. I will now go back in my hole.
But, let's be real. The whole entire time you were watching that flashback, you're like, who the frig is Lily, and is she a fairy tale character?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the point?
At first, it seems like she might just be a flashback character, but Once Upon a Time doesn't have throwaway characters like that these days, anyway. So if you see someone in a flashback, they're important in some way. Like you see Neil in the Tallahassee flashback, and oh, by the way, not only is he Henry's father, but also he's Rumpelstiltskin's son, and all this other nonsense. And then. So at first she seems sort of separate, but then you start learning too much about her.
Yeah.
For her to be.
Did you honestly think she was telling the truth the whole time?
I honestly think she was telling some of the truth. Obviously she was lying to Emma's face when she was or just not telling her the truth when she let Emma believe that she was in the foster system and all that. But when her father shows up, she doesn't want to go back with him. She talks about feeling invisible and being adopted, and I do think she was telling the truth there.
I don't know. I feel like I think maybe she could be adopted, but I also think she's just like this typical spoiled suburban kid that's like, no one understands me. I'm not meant to be here.
That's what I thought at the beginning when she was saying, like, I know what it's like to have no one understand you. Of course, I was also entering into this episode knowing exactly what happened. Um, but I also thought she was sort of like a spoiled suburban kid, but then later on in the episode, in the scene where you meet her father when she's really upset, I think she's equal parts upset that Emma now knows she's lying, but also that she really doesn't want to go home, and I want to know more about why.
Hmm.
I think that maybe if she's a fairy tale character, that has something to do with it. If she's not a fairy tale character, I'm interested because I think she was an interesting character.
Do you want to do any Lily predictions?
I don't really have any. I know that there is sort of fan theory, it's like a teeny tiny one about maybe she could be Tiger Lily just because of her name. And the star, which maybe it's a Neverland thing. The star has to be significant in some way.
Yeah.
But again, that's only if she's a fairy tale character, and I have to admit that I Googled several different things that could lead me to a story, and I did not find one.
Okay.
You
I
have any?
guess, well, I don't know. Stars and moons always like translate to werewolves, but I don't know if that's anything. We haven't really seen much of wolves in, well, we did. There's Red. Does Red's mother have a werewolf thing? Because she was a little bit of a swoot.
Maybe. I don't think that werewolf is going to be a thing. Like I know where you're coming from, but I don't agree with that. I don't know if it'll have anything to do with anything at all.
Yeah, I think that's a stretch. I don't think she's actually a fairy tale character, but I do think there's a significant thing that she could have been if she was adopted. Maybe she was in the same foster house as Emma and Pinocchio, which was Augustus. Was it Augustus?
It was August.
August. Why am I saying Augustus? August. Maybe when they were first brought over, and there's some kind of I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't have time to figure this out. There's too much other shit going on.
There's a lot of other stuff going on. And that all has to do with the Frozen storyline, where we see several different things. First of all, Emma finds out that she not only knows the Snow Queen from way before. She sees a photo of herself having an argument with her in the ice cream parlor right after she got to Storybrooke, but she can't remember that.
No.
Haha. And your notes seem to indicate there was a reason for that I didn't see.
What do you mean?
Memory erasing thing? I don't know.
There's a story, like a thing within the original Snow Queen story.
Oh,
that,
all right.
Yeah. Do you want me to explain it?
Go ahead.
So apparently the Snow Queen has this ability where when she took captive one of the village kids, she gave him one kiss on the forehead, and that was to immune him from the cold. She gave him a second kiss on the forehead, which erased all his previous memories and all his thoughts of his loved ones. And then if she would give him a third kiss, he would die.
So that's cheery.
Yeah. So there's a possibility that maybe she can kiss memories away. I don't know.
And that it's not the rock trolls that were taking memories?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely possible. And they seem to be using a lot of other elements of the character, from the book, which I like because thankfully we're stepping away from Frozen and sort of just using the characters in the original context, which works for me because I really wasn't thrilled with the whole Frozen thing.
Yeah. So Emma, back to the story.
Yeah.
So Emma discovers via Regina's top secret photos of Emma that she has encountered the Snow Queen. So her and Elsa get in the yellow bug and like, oh, let's go visit Regina because I'm sure she's not busy trying to save Marianne or anything. So they go to Regina's graveyard office, and
it's her vault, by the way. I was told this.
Her vault. I like graveyard office better. And Elsa's like, you guys have to deal with some stuff, so I'm just going to sit here in this car. Even though I'm not able to change out of my dress, I have this lovely cloak that's keeping me warm. Don't know where it came from, but I have it. Yeah. Um, so Emma goes in there, and Regina's not really thrilled to see her at all. She's like, I have more important things to like figure out when the frig this picture was taken, blah 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 blah. So Emma's like,
Don't ask me about Sydney.
yeah, yeah. So while Emma's like pretty much begging for Regina to like forgive her, Elsa hears Anna in a very ABC Family Halloween night kind of way in the graveyard with like flashing bulbs and like the outline silhouette of Anna. She's like, Anna, where are you? And so of course, instead of getting the freaking sheriff, she goes running after Anna. And
My phone is about to talk, and I apologize for this.
who's calling you?
I don't know. We'll find out in a second. Okay,
Yes,
apparently Western New England University.
there you go. Yeah, all right. They just want money.
They really do. Anyway, so Elsa goes running off into the forest.
With her cloak, and then dun da da da, it was all an illusion created by the very soft-spoken Snow Queen. And she like
Your impressions are making this awesome.
and then she, chains her. And she's like, and then the Snow Queen does like this really creepy thing with like soft, wide eyes and just like, I'm not going to tell you everything's going to be okay because I need your fear. Your fear is what I'm living off of. And you're kind of like, oh my god, this woman's crazy. And so that happens. And then Emma and Regina discover that Elsa ran
That's
off.
the best part.
What?
I'm gonna build a snowman.
Oh yeah, that was weird. Because it wasn't even a snowman. It was
It
like
was
an
an Iceman.
warrior. So there was no need for that line whatsoever.
Yes, there was. There's always a need for Frozen references, including the total I'm building a stairway and then I'm gonna
Oh yeah, that
go
stairway.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, and then as soon as she stepped on it,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so Emma and Regina goes off without Emma, and then Emma like is like, can I tag along? And Regina's like, well, do I have much of a choice? So, guided by Sydney, who she has to put away, who's in her compact, they find the snowman first.
Yeah, they're just sort of like they're trying to find the Snow Queen and the stairway breaks.
Yeah.
And they run up and then they encounter the giant ice warrior.
Yeah, and then they combined their magical powers and defeat him together.
Yay!
Yay! And then they see the Snow Queen, but then she does her disappearing act, right?
Yeah, and is like, Elsa, you are getting braver. Yay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's because Elsa is able to break 3 of her chains and saves Emma and Regina.
Yeah. I'm going to stop the recap for a second because there are a few things that happen in between that we didn't hit on that are really important. One of them is that the reason that the Snow Queen is able to find them and attack them is because Sydney is actually working for her.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. And he's apparently made a deal with her that she will get him out of the mirror and if he does this.
Yeah.
And so he does.
So she's expecting them. She's not surprised to find them.
No, she's not surprised to find them at all, and they, have their whole little thing. The other thing that I thought was important to note was that Emma very specifically mentions to Regina about how they are more alike than I think she wants to admit,
Mm-hmm.
And that they understand people not understanding them, and like being an outsider. And Emma essentially asks Regina to teach her how to use magic again.
And she's like, I don't have time for your little girl games.
Yeah, essentially Regina's like, I don't have time for your young people-ness.
For someone that wants people to forget how awful she is, she really can't let go of what Emma did.
But I kind of understand, like, I completely understand Regina's motivations for almost everything that happens to her, because she feels like she's been just continually punished.
Yeah, but I don't think Emma's the one that's been continuously punished. Like, I think she's taking all her anger and placing it on Emma. Because Emma did one bad thing.
Regina actually seems like she's self-aware enough to admit that, because she says, like, you may not have meant to hurt anyone, but you did, and now you're going to deal with that, because
Yeah,
she's like, welcome to my world.
yeah, that was.
Like, so she's self-aware enough to know that her blaming Emma for all of this is misplaced anger, but she
Mhm.
doesn't care. She's pissed off, and someone's gonna get the brunt of it, and it's gonna be Emma.
So we find out that Sydney's a secret agent and leads them to the Snow Queen. The Snow Queen magically disappears again. Sydney is now out of the mirror. And actually, this was kind of like nice for an evil queenish. She like just lets Sydney go. Like Sydney's like ready to serve her, and she's like, "Oh no, I only needed the mirror, so you're good." And like she's like, "Oh, one thing, Sydney, get a jacket because it's gonna get colder around here."
It's nice, and at the same time, it wasn't entirely unexpected,
Yeah.
because he's never really needed minions.
No.
In everything that we know about her, she doesn't need minions, but it also makes her way creepier because of her whole "I want a loving family" revelation. Like, she
Mhm.
really is a psycho.
Yeah, she definitely has issues. What we find out is that the Snow Queen is building a mirror, and the mirror is now done. And she looks into the mirror and she says, "Well, I want my family," or whatever. So it kind of just ties exactly into the original story of the Snow Queen.
Yeah, very specifically ties into the original story, and she talks about mirrors in a way that I think is really interesting, because we have seen mirrors throughout the whole run of the show and being powerful, and like there are portals, and there's like a mirror world that Sydney goes and hides in, and Regina uses them to spy on people, and she talks about mirrors being extremely powerful, um and you look into a mirror and blah blah blah. So in the original Snow Queen story, her mirror was her power, essentially,
Yeah.
besides all the icy magic.
hmm So that's interesting. So we kind of learn somewhat of the Snow Queen's end game here.
Yes, it's to get a quote loving family.
To get a family. So now that everyone's saved and they can't find the Snow Queen, Regina and Emma head back to the graveyard office. And Emma kind of like makes a final plead for like Regina to move past it. And she's like, "Well, I thought we were friends." And then Regina's like, "You thought we were friends?" And so then it was like, "Oh, okay, fine. Since we both think we're friends, we're cool."
Yeah, essentially. So now we actually have some Swan Queeniness. We don't have the Swan Queen that a lot of Swan Queen shippers want, which is them in an actual physical relationship. But they're finally friends, which I think we've been sort of seeing them move forward with and then fall really far behind at
Yeah.
for a long period of time now. If anyone's going to be Regina's friend, it's going to be Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's an interesting dynamic.
So we'll see. We'll see how long this time their friendship lasts.
Yeah, exactly. And in what
Someone
way,
messed up.
and in what ways they're going to have to team up to defeat the Snow Queen. I honestly don't know who is going to be the one that ultimately defeats her. Whether it's going to be Elsa, or if it's going to be Emma, or if it's going to be Emma and Regina, or what.
My whole thing is, I don't think, besides the Marion thing, I don't think Regina really gives a fuck about the Snow Queen.
She doesn't.
At this point, she only wants the bitch to undo the frickin' spell. Other than that, she could care less about
Yeah,
what's
I
going
agree,
on.
but again, at the same time, I think this team up was important for that storyline, and we're only 5 episodes into the story, which is going to take 11, so we have 6 more episodes for Regina to care.
I think once the Snow Queen starts maybe attacking the town a little bit more, Regina will start caring, but at this point, she's not as invested as everyone else is.
True, yeah. I'm wondering if the Snow Queen is going to start building up some kind of, like, drone army.
Wait, is the freaking wall still up? Like, is there
Yeah,
still
that's what I was thinking during the episode. I was going to bring it up. Is the wall still up? Because I was thinking that while Elsa was chained up and she was trying to break the spell, I was like, oh, can she not break it because it's not her magic? Is the wall still up?
Yeah. I was like, wait. Like, that was what I was just thinking. Is like, no one is worried about that anymore.
Like, oh, we're encased in ice. That's that cool. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't leave the town for so many years. What's the big deal? Like,
we still don't know if they can leave.
yeah.
Like, even if the wall is down, does it matter?
Because last time they couldn't leave because if they left, their memories got erased.
Yeah, as far as we know, that's still the case.
Yeah. So what are they bitching about?
I don't know. Because it's confusing and scary.
Okay. Well, whatever.
But either way, the whole who's gonna defeat her, blah blah blah. I think we're gonna find more later on. I did think it was interesting, and maybe it's just a design consistency less than a foreshadowing. But the Snow Queen's mirror resembles Regina's
Yeah.
a lot, and I'm wondering if that's gonna have if there is going to be some kind of like corresponding mirror thing.
I don't. Well, clearly she was able to get through Sydney using her mirror. So there might. I don't know if it's just mirrors. I don't know.
Maybe we'll end up in Mirrorland.
Yeah.
That could be like horrifying in a funhouse kind of way.
Yeah. So that was pretty much the flashback. The Regina and Emma, Elsa, Snow Queen thing was pretty much the major part of the episode. But there was a couple. There was another little storyline going on between Mary Margaret, David, going out on the town for the first time since having the baby.
Yeah. And
So,
I liked that story. I thought it was interesting. I still, like, as much as, yes, I agree that the nice little human story of Mary Margaret being obsessed with being with her child and finally starting to let go is interesting, and I don't know if it's important.
Yeah.
I don't know that I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, not in the context of this episode.
I think it's cute. I think people expect to see Snow White. I expect to see Snow White. She's one of the main characters. I like her.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of over the whole Mary Margaret doesn't want to leave her baby. Okay, we got it.
Yeah, you were over that last week.
I was over it like after the first episode. I was over it. I can tell you the exact moment I got over it. When she couldn't put the baby down to fold up the damn stroller. That's when I was over it. Like, come on.
But at the same time, it also has to deal with Will and finding his satchel thing.
So they go. Mary Margaret goes.
My phone's gonna talk again. I don't know who keeps calling us.
The freaking university.
God.
Let's hear now.
Oh no, this is an election call. That's fun.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so Mary Margaret and David end up at the station because she wants a walkie-talkie so they can talk to Belle, who's watching the kid.
Right.
Then David magically discovers that I have no frickin' idea how, but Will Scarlet escapes prison. I have a feeling that Will Scarlet could possibly be a minion for the Snow Queen because seemingly everything happens in correlation between those two.
Maybe, but at the same time, I feel like his story makes no sense at this point.
Yeah, so
I don't know why he's there.
I don't know. So David's like, oh, we gotta go find him. And he's like, it's gonna be like, how it used to be. And Mary Margaret's like, ugh, okay, fine. So they go for a walk. And she's like, David, this is stupid. I'm going back to the baby. So David's like, yeah. And he leaves and goes off his way. And this is another great example of how shitty a sheriff David is. Because all Mary Margaret does is look right like this way. David was here, okay? So Mary Margaret looks in this view, and there's Will Scarlet.
Digging in the dirt.
Digging in the dirt on a beach. In the middle of the night.
Brightly lit area.
Yeah. David, are you blind? Maybe he needs glasses. And Mary Margaret's like, oh, David, you and your little tricks. And she's like, oh, he released you because he wants me to get my mojo back, and this was all set up. And she's like, I'm the mayor, so I pardon you, Will Scarlet. And he's like, yeah, sure, lady, like, if that's what you want to do. We find out that he's digging for his backpack that holds a map to something that he needs, but he doesn't remember.
It was that he created the map so that he would know where to find the thing that he buried, but he buried it. He put the map in the bag and then buried the bag.
Yeah, so now he's trying to find the bag. So Mary Margaret pardons him, and then later finds out that David didn't release him, and she just pardoned a bad guy. He's not even a bad guy. Like, he got drunk and broke into a library. Like, I don't, like, it's, like, what's so bad about him? Clearly, besides he robs people, but whatever.
Yeah, but, like, he's got it. This is why I think that's gotta mean something else. Like, there has to be they have to be building to something, and if they're not, I am gonna be very upset.
Well, it's like they keep, like, dropping little clues where I think it's, like, a bit, like, it has to be something bigger. but I can't figure out what it is, and because he just popped up, it's like annoying me. It's like, give me more information, or why are we even having this in the story?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why is this here? Let me feel like this is actually foreshadowing something and not just filling time.
I
Because they
feel like,
don't need it to fill time.
no, because they have so much fucking going on.
Yeah.
So
You
that
are
was
very angry with things today.
because it's like, if you're gonna use him, then use him. Like, this is what annoys me about this show, is that they introduce these characters and don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, I agree.
So they have them have 3 minutes of playtime, and then you're kind of like, what the hell?
Yep.
So like, either introduce them and give them a bigger storyline, or just stick with the frickin' bread and butter of the goddamn show, and like, let's just keep it going.
Yeah.
So there was that. So then I guess we should get to the the big reveal.
Yeah, there was a bigger. You go ahead and do that.
Okay, so the big
What
reveal.
was
So
your
Emma,
theory?
yes, I was right. So Emma's like feeling nostalgic now and goes back to her office, which I guess David doesn't use that desk. Still confused by the double sheriff thing. So she opens her box of everything that's like all of her childhood in one box. She finds the video camera that she stole from Lily's house.
Yeah, she just kept it.
Yeah, and Hook walks in, and Hook stays in his casual gear, which I was pretty excited about. He didn't change back. So he's like, "Oh, let's watch it, love. I would love to know more about that." This is my British accent. I would love to know more about your childhood. It's a bit. Now I'm doing like, I don't know what I'm doing. So they watch it, and they see like the stupid stuff with her and Lily, and then it like does like a jump cut, and she's like being teased in a new foster home, and Hook's like, "Oh, do you remember this?" And she goes, "No, I don't remember this at all." And all of a sudden you hear a woman's voice telling the other children to stop. Then she comes into frame, and who else is it but the Snow Queen?
Dun dun
So
dun.
the Snow Queen was Emma's foster parent, and Emma has no idea and remembers nothing about this.
Yeah, and I think that it actually makes total sense given what we know about her about wanting a loving family and all
Mhm.
this stuff for her to be a foster mom.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. That's why I predicted it.
I would like to know eventually, I mean, I'm sure we'll find out how she came to do that, be that way, whatever. Um, and I wonder how much manipulation it took for Emma to end up her foster kid.
Yeah, we're eventually going to have to get a Snow Queen flashback origin story. And I
Hmm.
guess that's when we'll find out what really is going on.
Yeah. Um,
So,
so there were a couple of references that I thought were fun. I made a reference, and I'm gonna do this because I like the reference. That in the end, when you meet the Snow Queen in her little snow cave lair thing, the whole thing with the Snow Queen in this episode felt a lot like the White Witch from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe from the Chronicles of Narnia. I was drawing on the comparison between the whole turning people into essentially statues magically, because she does that with the hallucinatory Anna, which I'm wondering if she's actually hallucinatory.
yeah, we don't know. We have no idea where Anna
Because
is.
she
We
seemed
know
like a
she's
drone.
alive, but
She
she's
seemed like
alive.
a drone, and I'm
Yeah.
wondering if that's actually Anna, and that's just how she like when she makes her little minions. If Anna's a minion in some way, um, and her turning people into stone, which was a thing that the White Witch did,
Mhm.
and then her lair and everything about her with the white and the looks and the snow and things felt very White Witchy. And then you actually drew comparison to her performance being very similar to the way Tilda Swinton played the White Witch in the movie, which
Yes.
I thought was cool. And then David made a nice little call out that I think you enjoyed.
Yeah. Which is, I could probably talk about this for 20 minutes because
You can talk
Dave,
about it for one.
yeah, David makes an Asgard reference in while he was with Mary Margaret, which is ironic because Josh Dallas was in the first Thor
Yes, he was.
as one of, I guess, I think it's Warriors of Asgard, who he was replaced by Zachary Levi. So
It's
in the
Lady Sif and the Warriors 3.
yes, he was one of the three warriors, which I thought was cute. So I liked that.
I thought it was cute too. I saw it and I was like, ha, nice. And And then were there any other like little side notes we wanted to touch on this episode before we get to next week?
I did not like Regina's high pants.
I didn't either.
Since we've been very wardrobe obsessed these past couple episodes, I did not like her high pants, and I don't know why. I understand that she did just have a baby with it. Why are we putting Mary Margaret in such boxy clothes?
Yep, I was
So
thinking.
like her clothes are very boxy, and it bothers me.
I didn't have any other complaints about wardrobe for this episode. For the most part, it was fine. Except Elsa needs a change of clothes, which she gets next week.
Yeah, but it's a flashback.
Yeah, I know it's a flashback, but at least she's in a different dress.
Okay.
Leave me alone. It's the little things, okay? She's not gonna get new clothes in Once Upon a Time land Storybrooke, so apparently we're just gonna I'm living with this, okay?
Okay.
Next week is far more interesting in other respects, though, including that Belle shows up in Arendelle.
We don't know. Belle is featured within the Anna Elsa flashback, so we're not sure if Belle travels to Arendelle when she was doing all her traveling, or if Anna somehow goes back to the Enchanted Forest. So we're not sure, but Belle does pop up. Not Rumpel. I'm sorry. Emma and Hook go searching for the Snow Queen with their newfound wisdom. They're searching for the truth. It's a lot of truth going on next week. Like truth is like the theme, because Anna now has to tell Elsa that her parents really were awful, and she has to like, debate on whether to tell them. Do you want to
Yes,
share with our viewers?
There is also, in the promo for next week, there is a moment where Emma and Hook have a parchmenty thing that they unroll, and there's all these runes on it. That's like
They
a
look like dancing trees. Dancing trees.
Dancing trees. Okay, I haven't actually seen the promo for next week, but I've been told by several people that this is what's in it. I've also been informed that within not a long period of time after that promo aired, fans, because y'all are crazy, translated the runes on the page, and those runes apparently read, let me find it.
Please read it.
My search will continue to the ends of the earth. One thing I know for sure, the name of the Savior is Emma. The Savior shall be my sister. Now, we don't know. We don't know what it means. We don't know who wrote it.
Well, we know
We don't know
kind
who
of
the
what
I.
it means. We have the translation, so.
We have the translation. We don't know what the translation means.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's a literal sister, if it's going to be a metaphorical sister, if it's our Emma, or if maybe it's a different Emma. I don't know. I'm throwing that one out there. I'm going with metaphorical sister or sister in magic. I think Kate agrees with me on that one.
I do.
And then also I threw out, just to throw it out there, the possibility that that is actually the message in a bottle that we saw in the very first
A
scene.
lot of sense because it was rolled up and it was unscrolled. So duh. And I think Hook found it while he's Hook Henry who's sailing.
There you go. We're just bringing things full circle here.
Yeah, full circle. Someone's got to tie it up. Why not me?
So that's my guess for next week. It's not so much a theory or a prediction as it is like, hey, this could happen, and I'm going to throw it out there in case I'm right. I think it would be interesting, and then but if I end up being right about that, then I'm gone. I have no idea what it means, what it could be, anything. But I'm still really curious what was on that damn parchment that they put in.
I'm probably going to lose sleep over it. I'm trying to figure out what sister, savior, Emma, what's going on. I'm not going to be able to sleep till Sunday. But I do believe that it was probably the message in the bottle.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it is going to end up being the message in the bottle.
And that has to pop in, like, they wouldn't have wasted so much frickin' time about it if it doesn't show up, so.
Yeah, it wouldn't specifically have happened if it wasn't going to show up in a future episode. So maybe we will find out next week, but I guess we will just have to wait and see. Do you have any other tidbits that you would like to add?
No, that's really good.
I think we are breaking glass out. I don't think we have anything else to say about the episode. So we're going to wrap it up and leave things on a slightly confusing note. This has been Two Chicks, One Show, the episode talking about Once Upon a Time, Season 4, Episode 5, Breaking Glass, our 13th episode. I got it right that time. You can catch us usually every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. You can subscribe if you are on YouTube. Give us your thoughts and comments on YouTube, on the website. We're on allgeektome.net. On wherever you want to leave your comments. You can also tweet us with at Tricia Ennis, at Kait Calabro, and hashtag 2chicks1show. Kate's making fun of me at my hand motions again. We'll be back next week. Once Upon a Time airs Sundays at 8 on ABC. See you next time.
I'm gonna give myself 20 years.